Warzone. Welcome to the Warzone. I just woke up Tony Tucker and Joe Skirdo because I don't know what they were doing, but they weren't ready for the start of this show. They weren't ready for the Warzone Roundtable, where we talk about anything and everything. As you can see, we have Josh Allen, we have Tom Brady, we have Peyton Manning, we have Tony's guy, Chris Middleton, from the Olympic gold medalist over there. Olympic gold medalton, that's what I was going to call him.
That's a good pun.
Yeah,
good Middleton.
I didn't want it, but it worked. But it's Warzone Sports. Welcome to the Warzone Roundtable. Here we go. Yeah, people are probably wondering, Tony, they're like, weren't you guys just on here? Weren't you guys just live? Yeah, we were. We just did a mock draft. That's how we do it here on the Warzone Sports Network. But we go from, Jimmo. What's going on, Jimmo?
Jimmo, the icon right now, actually trying to raise some money, and the person who donates the most is going to win an Allen Robinson signed Bears jersey. And Gemmo's one of my favorite people, always up for a good cause. And Gemmo, I'm rooting for the Bears this year to have a really good season. I think our NFC North predictions are coming out later, and I got the Bears a lot higher than most people, I think.
Do you know where you could donate the money at?
If there's a link on his Twitter, it's pinned to the top. He's just looking. It's for the Boston Children's Hospital. He's out there on the East Coast. Chicago guy, deep dish, no pineapple on pizza. Don't mess with Gemmo. It'll mess you up. But yeah, get over there. It's for a good cause. And if you donate enough money, you get something nice. Huh? You get something I don't know why I sound like a douchebag, but you get something nice, bro.
Do you think that's how the East Coast Northerners talk?
I'm just doing voices, but there are some guys that you talk to that do sound like caricatures. Like I've had a couple friends from Boston where their accents are like, this isn't real, is it? Like when they get drunk and they really start leaning into it and they say drawer. I'm like, what letters are you missing and adding from the word drawer? It's in the drawer, bro.
Yeah.
There's
a few words missing in our vocab, especially when you got a few drinks in you.
I think it's mainly letters. I think it's just like
letters,
major letters in
letters,
there. Yeah. But I did remember one time I did a Boston character at a comedy festival that was really fun, where I just was like talking about Tom Brady over everything. Like everything that I did was for Tom Brady. This was a long time ago. And it turned out pretty funny. People enjoyed it.
So you can go to JimmoTheIcon.com, or you can go to the link that he has on his Twitter to donate for the Allen Robinson jersey, guys. Just if anybody's out there looking for it.
Awesome. Let's start off the show. We got Joe Skirdo here. He was just kind enough, lovely enough, drafted a great team in the mock draft Monday. But you can see him in that fire, gangrene, black Jets jersey.
Show it off, Joe. Stand up, show it off.
give the people what they want. This is good enough. He's already flexing. It's about to bust at the seams. And as you know, Amazon's not taking it back. Starting a free safety this year when they don't re-sign Marcus May will be Joe Skirdo. But I just want to talk about, because I think it's so hilarious that we will have our private chats, or you'll be on the internet or whatever it is. And Zach Wilson throws in his Tommy Johns at a pro day, and people are just losing their mind, busting nuts all over the internet. And then he has one bad day at practice, and all of a sudden, like, the sky's falling down. I told you he was a butt. Like, I want to know your thoughts on it. It drives me nuts to no end, but I want to know what your thoughts are as a Jets fan to just see the internet react like this.
Yeah, I mean, he actually didn't apparently have a good practice today too, and people are still on that. It doesn't make sense, when you're a rookie in training camp, you're learning a whole new playbook. Like you're learning a whole new playbook. You have new coaches, you have new teammates. It's new everything. So that was the first time he actually got out there in the field. 11 on 11, no coaches on the field. His offensive coordinator was in the booth. I mean, relax. It's also like these are the guys that are seeing Wilson play every single day. Yeah, the Jets defense isn't very good by any means, but everyone's going to overreact because he's getting the hype. But I mean, I'm not worried at all. Like he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to have more worse days than good ones, but the good ones will be really good. And I'll be on my high horse for longer than the bad days, but it's not like he went out there and went 8 for 30 and threw 4 interceptions.
It's also too this is the time when you want to make mistakes, though. That's what I don't get. Yes. Like it's a new coach and a new system and a new guy and there's so much. It's the new New York. Come on, people. Like let the guy have a couple of like bad practices and then we'll see him get out there. I also think that sometimes, and you hate this like as a sports fan, but some people are just better in the game than they will ever be in practice. Like
for sure.
And he could be one of those guys. Like if you loved him because of this, sort of on the run, wrong-footed throw he makes in practice, don't just let some like camp report come out and ruin all the shine on one player. That's what I just like. Just ride with the guy into the season and let's see what he does actually in the game.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? We talking about practice? We talking about practice?
Yes, we are, Alan.
Exactly.
Get your shit together. Maybe you would have won a championship had you talked a little bit more about practice.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I think it's also like he was overwhelmingly good when he first came in. Like everyone's like, "Oh, he looks great. He looks great." And then he has one bad game and it's like, "Oh, in a game setting, he was bad." Not again. I mean, I'm worried about a lot about the Jets. You always have to be because they're the freaking Jets, right? They're the goddamn Jets. But in my opinion, like I'm not worried about him. This is his year to develop. Like I said, he's playing with all these new guys. And that's what I kind of said with Lawrence too. I can't wait when Lawrence doesn't play as well as everyone thinks he is this year and says he's a bust. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. There's not a lot of Justin Herbert seasons. We might not ever see that again because like arguably like Baker Mayfield's rookie season was out of the ordinary. And what he threw like 27 touchdowns. I think it was like 11, maybe 9 or 10 interceptions. I don't know. He had a good year, but like it's not easy to be a rookie quarterback and go right in. Not to mention these two guys, their teams combined for 3 wins last year. It's
exactly. And also like one thing I think that helps out Justin Herbert is that he landed in a place where they had an institution and there was a veteran presence with Phillip Rivers for however long. But Phillip's shadow that he cast wasn't as amazing as like trying to recover for Dan Marino or Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a legend for the Chargers, but he's not sort of like a global NFL legend that you're trying to replace. So it wasn't like, right. Oh, you have to step in and fill these shoes that nobody could possibly fill. But he had, some good pieces on players on teams that knew how to win. And the team could have actually been better last year had it not been for one Mr. Anthony Lynn.
Jimmo coming in strong. I truly believe this, Joe. I know that you're a big Jets fan and you have the jersey and everything. But Fields and Lance are going to –
see, I just don't believe that. I could see Fields. I am not high on the Lance train, man. I'm just not. Like, he is raw. We can say that, like, BYU, Wilson's raw. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could see Fields too, but my thing is why I'm going to stick with it. I wanted Wilson, and I'm happy they have Wilson. He was the guy I wanted. It's just like the scheme fit, man. That's why they drafted him. I mean, they're playing a West Coast style. That is what Wilson thrived in. But it's so hard. Like Wilson could be the worst. All we know, he could be the best. So I don't think let's say Fields is better. Well, first of all, Fields is already in a better situation than Zach Wilson is in. He's got a great defense. He's got, I think, one of the most elite receivers in the game. Yeah, you have Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, but at least they got a good roster. The Niners, they were a Super Bowl team last year. Well, 2 years ago, before last year, before all the injuries and COVID. So it's like those situations are so much better. So even if you put Lance and Fields with the Jets, you can't guarantee success. So I think it's all about the situation for me.
Who's your guys' backup? Because I think that the prep that Justin Fields gets to go in and has a veteran who's had success in this league, Andy Dalton. You can laugh at that all you want, but if you look, Andy Dalton has been to the playoffs in tough divisions too.
I'm not laughing at that, Tony. I'm laughing at their backup.
Oh, I don't know who the Jets' backup is, but
Josh Johnson, they just signed him, and then they have Mike White, and then they have James Morgan, who they signed, who they drafted last year. So not very good. They just got their veteran in Josh Johnson, which isn't a bad veteran, but like he's not like you said, Andy Dalton, who's been to the playoffs. He gets a bad rap in my opinion. I think Andy Dalton's had a relatively pretty solid career. Like he almost took that dumpster Cowboys team to the playoffs last year once he came back.
Yeah, and it's for me, it's about prep, right? I think if you can get somebody in there to show you how to prep game days, whatever it is, I think it gives you sort of a little leg up on the competition, and you want to have that veteran presence there. So
the Cowboys were only a dumpster fire last year.
You're just checking. Just that the record's great.
I'm asking for a friend. For a friend. Throwing that out there.
Weren't they like 8-8 the year before, or was it? They weren't that good the year before, right? Like, I'm trying to think.
They didn't make the playoffs that year. The Eagles did. The Eagles were 9-7. I believe they were 8-8. Yep. And then the year before that, they were really good. They had a bye week, and then they lost against the Packers. That crazy catch. I forget who made the catch, but yeah, 2019, the Eagles won the division. They were 9-7.
Yeah, that was the year that Wentz was supposed to prove us all wrong, and he gets the concussion in like the first drive of the game or whatever.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah, and then Josh McCown was playing the whole game, and he was hurt. He had like fractures. I don't know what it was. He had like a pretty bad injury. I think he was playing with like fractured ribs or something the whole game. Like that dude was injured.
Oh, man, that's a fractured. I've never had fractured ribs. I've had like a bunch of bruised ribs and stuff, and it's hard to take a shit. I can't imagine having fractured ribs. That would be the worst thing ever.
It was bad. And when I had fractured ribs, I obviously got it from football. And then I had the flu after that. So I couldn't stop coughing. So I had like that cough. Oh my goodness, man. It was brutal. I was like I was like middle school because I was playing like middle school football. And that was bad. Like bad enough fractured ribs hurt. You could play with them. I did, but like having a cough. Oof.
That's exactly why I got my ribs taken out when I was 6 years old. Because I did not want to go through any of that.
It's just like tonsils. You can just take them out. I don't need these.
Yes.
Take them out.
Like, do not need these. Get them on out.
All right. So we talked about. Is there any other training camp like stories or reports that you come out, whether they're good or bad, Joe, from the Raiders or whatever, where you're like,
Raiders have a bunch of young guys that are winning jobs, and that's what's crazy, especially like on the defensive side of the ball. They just came out with their first depth chart of the season or whatever, and your boy Farrell was on the second team, but that should be expected when you bring in a guy like Ngakoue. He's going to back up. But I've been telling you, and you said I'm crazy, and you said I'm dumb, and we're going to lead the YouTube and thumbs down if I ever said this out loud. So I'm going to say it out loud right now just to get it. But I've been telling you that people are high on Darren Waller in fantasy football, and I have a feeling that he's going to lose some points to my guy, Fabian Moreau. And you saw it in their little black on silver scrimmage or whatever. He's the one getting open. Darren Waller's over here, and he did it 2 years ago before he got hurt last year. He's already stealing stats away from him. That Raider offense is going to scare a lot of people, and I hope that Brian Edwards is going off.
I was just going to say that. Brian Edwards, man.
Yeah, I hope he's the real deal.
See, I liked him last year too, and then what? He had an injury, right? Is that what happened? Because I liked him coming into the season. Kind of as like a dark horse, but now I'm like, you see like the clips and the highlights. Now I'm finding the hype.
Yeah, well, he went to North Carolina.
What's up? What's up,
Carolina.
Steve?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was unmuted. I was just whispering to myself.
I was like,
Yeah.
all right,
I forgot I
he
was
went to
unmuted.
South Carolina. He was a Gamecock, and he should have. The last two. This is what's crazy. The last two drafts have been loaded with wide receivers. So some of these guys that are going late in these drafts should, like, normally in other drafts they would have been first rounders. And Edwards is one of those guys who was hurt, didn't get his chance as a rookie, now coming through, and people are finally seeing his talent. And if he lives up to it or not, it's going to be great. I mean, getting compared to what T.O. is what people are comparing him to, or
Yeah, that's crazy.
that I'm trying to think of the other one they mentioned, Anquan Bolden. Those are the names that are being tossed around. But again, it is only training camp, so calm down. And he is going against the Raiders defense.
I like comparisons not made to like borderline all-time greats, like Terrell Owens
and Owens.
Yeah.
Those are Hall of Famers. I mean,
Yeah,
right,
I'm always a little weary about that. Like, is there a modern day player that we could model him after? But anyways, maybe he's one of those guys. But part of the reason they're great is because they did it for so long.
People used to say that I look like Fabio. You know
Yeah.
who that is? Yeah.
No, yeah. They don't think that Fabio was not cool when these guys were young.
I was Fabio after he got hit with the bird on the roller coaster.
So he's dead. Rest in peace. He shall be missed. Same old. Welcome into the show. You're a Giants fan, correct?
Yeah.
Is there any news coming out of camp that you're thinking about, talking about, like worried about?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm worried about Kenny Galladay, but the reports have been he hasn't looked too amazing in training camp so far. But he is learning a new offense. I'm kind of hoping he'll catch up eventually. But yeah, other than my team fighting each other, everything is kind of the way
I didn't even see
expected.
this report yet. Who's fighting who?
you didn't see it? Oh
No.
my goodness!
Oh no! Like the whole team got into like a big fight, and Joe Judge just had them running the whole time.
And Daniel Jones was in the bottom.
Yeah,
of the
Daniel
pile.
Jones was underneath 200-pound men, multiple of them.
He jumped in and he ended up being on the bottom of
Yeah.
literally. the
My quote
offense and
unquote
the
franchise
defensive
quarterback
line.
was at the bottom of a pile consisting of about 200-pound men.
Tony, 3 people retired from the Giants. 3 veteran players.
Yeah,
retired
three people retired. Everyone's just leaving.
because
Oh my God.
Joe Judge had them running laps.
Wait, they retired? Oh my god!
Yeah, three
yeah,
people
there's three.
retired from the team so far.
I like Joe Judge. to
Well,
be
no,
honest with
it's
you.
4. It might be 4 actually.
I like him even more now.
They're like, screw this, I'm out of here. But
I
yeah,
mean, he
Daniel
had,
Jones
he
was
had
on the
them
bottom.
running up and down the field afterwards. Had them doing bear crawls and push-ups for the rest of the practice.
While cussing at them, I think I read too.
Oh
But,
yeah,
like, the
very
thing was
loudly.
that I forgot who I was listening to, but they were like, it's kind of surprising that like it was McAfee and AJ Hawk, who are awesome by the way. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I love the Pat McAfee show.
It's like surprising that none of those guys were just like, no, I'm not running and walked out. Like I'm surprised those guys did that and then they retired. They should have just been like, I'm set.
Wait, so hang on. They did all that BS, and then they quit. Like the
Yes, that's
moment
what I'm saying.
Yes, the moment in 100-degree heat that the coach was like, "You're doing this. I know you're $1 million athlete." I would have been like, "I'm fully vested in my pension. My wife and kids are at home. I'm good. I'm not playing for some, dog crap team at 7 and
out of here.
7 and
Well,
10
I think it's
this
because
year."
they like him. They've like multiple people have vouched for him. They say they like the guy, so I guess that's why they stayed.
But then it doesn't make any sense.
I can like you, but I ain't gonna do shit for you. I like Mike, but if he told me to go run a lap,
Mike seems
No.
upset. Mike's like, what's going on? Like, not upset, but you have like Mike's got a bone to pick with somebody.
He's always close to his
Drew
camera.
Lock. Oh,
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
let's get this out of the
Drew
way
Lock.
real quick. He's upset because you trolled by drafting Drew Lock in the first round of a Superflex league. He may never forgive you for that. We should just take him out of our mock drafts. If there's a way we can eliminate a player from being drafted, he should be pulled out. So
I'm pretty sure you can do that. Whoever
it was a one-time thing. It won't happen again, Michael. I promise.
Whoever made the league can delete a pick and sleeper. Like they can just get rid of it.
Joe, next week there will be no Drew Lock in mock draft Monday.
Drew Lock will not be.
I don't know why I didn't mention that.
Actually, next week
I was too rattled to the point that Drew Lock went. I think
like
was
3 hours too late. Joe's
yeah, right.
We're gonna try something new. No QBs next week at all.
No QB fantasy league. That'd be miserable.
All
Super
tight
flex.
An all Miles Gaskin league.
We're gonna do an all rookie draft.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so I see Josh Allen in the background there. Anybody? I think I saw a Skirto on another show talking about you hope it's not a 1-year wonder type of thing. Does anybody else have those type of feelings about, or like concerns, or maybe, I don't know, thoughts on Josh Allen getting a bunch of money?
He's rich.
Well, I don't think it's a 1-year wonder because so far throughout his career, he's shown improvement throughout each year. First year, he looked awful. Second year, he looked decent. And then the third, just the big step up. So I don't think he'll fall off. He's shown the ability to improve each year. So, and they wanted to commit to the guy early and show that they're truly committed. So I don't really have a problem with the contract.
My only worry is like I want to see it with somebody other than Diggs because that offense is not nearly as good. Like when you look around it, like nobody's really being drafted off of there in fantasy, and that's kind of like not that I gauge that for everything, but then you sort of look back at like where's all the production coming from, and he's a humongous part of it. Like with his sacrificing his body. I can't really find any other like 1,000-yard receivers or even that potential. Maybe Gabe Davis. So I worry a little bit about like what happens if something happens to Diggs and it has to fall in the lap of my favorite white rapper Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Joe and I talked about this yesterday on Cup of Joe, and Joe got carried away and almost got beat up by Alex Robinson.
And then I almost beat him up because he was saying that fans have no impact, and like not having fans last year didn't have any impact.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
It did.
Here's one comparison I have, Tony, and I think you might see the comparison. Is I compare Josh Allen to a Cam Newton.
Yeah,
right.
That was good.
He's going to take these multiple hits. How long can he take these hits for?
I like that take. Also, Tony, they got another guy that's had 1,000 yards 3 times in his career on that team.
Yeah, who's also like we went to high school together, I think.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, he's like approaching 40, just like I am.
He had 725 yards last year. It's pretty decent for Drew Brees being hurt most of the season.
He's fine. Yeah, he's there. Skirto, I'm with you on that 100%. I don't know why Robson said that.
Well, also my thing with the contract is like they're not paying Josh Allen from last year. They're banking on Josh Allen to be even better. And that is my thing. Can he be better than he was last year? I don't think he can. I think he could repeat it. But like what is better now? Like we're talking Mahomes 40 plus touchdowns, craziness. So that's the thing. That's the only reason why I'm pumping my brakes, because we have seen, obviously, Same Old Sports kind of mentioned that. He was terrible first year, decent, made some mistakes, and then he was just really good. But, like, they're not paying him for being really good. They're paying him to be elite, an MVP type of guy, and a guy who's going to bring a Super Bowl to Buffalo.
Good. That's going on TikTok page, Joe.
Social media team, get on that. There's also like a little bit of maybe the Buffalo Bills need to kind of like get early. They need to commit. They need to like they're like 4 months away from moving to Austin or whatever because Buffalo just doesn't have the ability to finance a stadium. Like I want Buffalo Bills to stay in Buffalo or in that area or whatever. Like I love that fan base. I love that team. I also grew up with the Jim Kelly, Thurm Thomas, so I want them to be there. It would make me happy. I don't want another team in Texas. So I think they tried to get a little discount. What happened?
How many teams do you have?
I'm saying I like the idea
have
of the
one
Buffalo
team.
Bills. I only have one team. I'm saying I like the idea of the Buffalo Bills being in Buffalo. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Every day you come out with a new team that you have, Tony.
No, Joe, you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying that this is my team or I like this team. I'm saying the thought of a team being. I like the thought of Oklahoma City Thunder never existing. I like the Seattle Supersonics. That's what I want, Joe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Goodness.
I got you, Tony. I would love to see the Supersonics. That would be freaking amazing. That would be a moneymaker. And could you imagine at the end of I saw this the other day, if at the end of his New York deal with the Nets, he goes back to the Supersonics, the team that drafted him, and like they revitalize that franchise. And I don't know like how good he'll be then after that. I still think he'll be good and makes them a team to watch. I mean, Seattle's got a great fan base with the Seahawks. Who says it can't come back for basketball?
Agreed.
I mean, it was there for basketball.
This is when we need the buzzer, Tony.
Joe, I morally listen to this. I like the idea of the Raiders being in that Coliseum dump they were in because this new stadium's too good for them. Is that okay for me? Can I say that without liking the Raiders? Like, let's put them back up in that.
First of all, how dare you?
Used baseball field they were playing in the last time I watched.
What an amazing field. Why would they ever leave that? To see people kicking field goals off the second base was amazing. And they got I went to that Vegas stadium. What a dump.
Are you kidding me? The Oakland Coliseum is basically like you need a tetanus shot when you leave. The place is disgusting. That's so gross.
It's the wrong photo.
That's the stadium right there. This is the best stadium in football.
SoFi was magical. We went there yesterday. Mike and I. Yep, Mike.
Is Herbie in it? Is he in the background?
Herbie is in the background somewhere. He's one of those red jerseys. He's probably the tall one right there.
Okay, to the left.
Yeah,
on the field.
Yeah,
he was to the left.
This Chargers Fan Fest was one of the coolest sports experiences that I've ever had. And I think partially because the stadium was like magical. Like even I walk through, my kids are like, "Is this place have a movie theater?" And it's like my daughter's like, "Is there Forever 21?" Like it just looks so fantastic that you're like, "Oh, I don't ever want to leave this place." And you can see the field from so many different levels. Now I've only been in Qualcomm, Candlestick, Old Tiger Stadium. Like I've never been to any of the newer stadiums to like really enjoy this kind of, like I meant the Oakland Coliseum. Like I've never done anything like that. So it was very cool.
It was breathtaking, Tony. I got some of my best memories from my younger years, as in 2 years ago. Qualcomm. So much fun. And to think about what we're going to have now from here on out, it's going to be absolutely insane. I mean, we're probably going to be having this stadium here in LA for the rest of my life, I think. Definitely the rest of Tony and Joe's lives because they're old.
This is a pretty good picture. I'm not going to lie. Pretty good picture.
I see what's about to happen, Joe. I got spoilers.
But you didn't get to score no touchdowns like this. You didn't get to score a touchdown like this.
No, we did not chip in for Mark Davis's haircut so we could get on the field.
Wait. Is no one else going to bring this up? Is no one going to bring up the fact? Is that a regulation size field goal post? It can't be.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it is.
You are without jumping, like reaching up. I know
you've met Joe in real life. He's like big. He's like taller, big enough to fill up a doorway. Like
10 feet. He says.
Why wouldn't it be? He's backing up Leatherwood this year.
He may be starting by week 5.
I mean, look, this one, you got this one or this one? This one?
That one looks better, actually.
Yeah.
Or this one.
Touchdown! There's more people in the other one. More people were interested in going to that one.
Allegiant Stadium. It looks like a sticker on a banana. Get out. Like, that's not the same thing. People go to Vegas for,
Can you pull it up again? I want to look at it in like
stripper glitter and booby tassels. That's all Vegas is good for.
I'll get you a better one right now.
Skirto, we need you to be more professional. Your mic's on.
Yeah, sorry.
Because, I'll show you a side. Like, I shouldn't show you this one because I'm so good. Like, it shows off all my talents. And then I'm going to probably get scouts knocking on the door now,
Oh, man.
Well, Leatherwood, I mean, they need you, like he said.
Oh.
Back in the end zone.
Oh, drag swag.
It's in.
Just letting you guys know. touchdown.
Morley toe tap.
Yeah, we had a Pro Bowl receiver actually do that in real time yesterday, Mike Williams. I know we can't throw that up, but we did post a little mini hype video of the Chargers and some of the training camp stuff on our YouTube
hype video.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, just being that close, it was crazy. And like one of the things, like Mike, plug your ears. Sometimes this is part of the reason why I was going with the training camp stuff. I will hear stuff about a player, and then when I see that player disappoint me in real time, it just bums me out. So like as before, I said you got to give Zach Wilson a little bit of hope. This player was not a first-round pick, was hyped up, and then right before my very eyes, he just disappoints me. I was bummed, but I did not put that in the video because there's no need.
Who are you talking about?
You know who I'm talking. We're not here to badmouth individuals.
Can you
We do it all the time. We do it on an episode.
Okay.
put it in the
Is it
chat?
Asante Samuel?
It's Parham. Everybody keeps telling you about Parham. He had 2 drops that were like, both of them, I was like, 1, bro, you got to get that. You're in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Those are fantasy points. And better yet, those are points for the Bolts that they need. You can't drop a touchdown pass like that.
I got you, Tony. Mike and I are I'll spoil it right now. Mike and I are going to take a trip the next 2 days. Me and Mike are going to get together tomorrow. We're going to head on down to LA Rams camp, check them out. And then on Wednesday, we'll be at the Chargers camp. But when I go to Charger camp, I got you. Parham, you suck. That's from Tony Tucker.
You better leave your name out of it. I don't want any business with that man. He's like,
He's 6'8", bro. I just looked it up. He's 6'8".
he is.
The bigger
like,
they are, the harder they fall.
The talent is there. Johnny Talk Sports, welcome. How you doing, brother?
Not well, considering you decided to diss my mock draft earlier.
Oh, don't take it. Don't take it.
I just wanted to lighten the mood a little bit with a beautiful photo.
That's awesome.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm doing well.
Johnny came in swinging.
Oh, I
Chose violence.
Love that.
Johnny, let him have it. Let him have it, Johnny.
Why are you instigating this? Johnny's a nice guy. He knows I'm messing around. You're a Falcons fan, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, how you feeling about your Dirty Birds? What's going on with them?
I mean, I'm hoping at this point they at least win 7 or 8 games. I mean,
I think 7 or 8 feels like a good number, like a good thing to hope for, and like obviously, for any time when I think about it, you want your team to finish strong. Like I don't want to be like the Vegas Raiders, where it's like, oh, we're playoffs are right there, we got a wild card, and then we finish on a 4-game losing streak. It's nice to stack wins at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Leave
loving
the season with some momentum.
Tony has flipped the Charger switch on, and I love it.
Yeah. You know how it is when you win 4 straight and you're just building for the next season, when you're going to win 10 games and get a wild card spot, and then who knows, maybe upset somebody in the playoffs like Baker Mayfield. Like Baker did this year. They're not
What
upset.
team are you rooting for, Tony?
The
What
Chargers.
team?
I just explained to you, Joe. I just explained. Mike, you understood everything I was saying, correct?
Yes. So the Chargers and the Browns are in the AFC Championship game. You're going for the Chargers to win it.
Yes, but I wouldn't put my money there, is what I'm saying.
That doesn't sound like a fan to me.
Listen,
Johnny, that's not
my
a fan,
heart
huh?
and my wallet are 2 different things. They're
Johnny, that's
they're
not
very
a fan.
different. They're very
Well,
separate.
This is a
I
great
get that
time.
as an Eagles fan. I'll back him up on that. I bet against my team sometimes. I root that I'll lose the money, but I bet. I mean, like,
I don't think I can ever root that I'm gonna lose money.
No,
But
I would
anyway,
fade every game.
it's a win-win either way, though. It's a win-win.
I'd rather
either
just
way.
bet
There's
on
one
them.
thing to look forward to.
I won like $40 on the Phoenix Suns against the Lakers in the first round of the NBA playoffs this year because I didn't have faith for them to get their stuff together in Game 6.
Anyway, this is a great time to plug that Nuts and Bolts is coming to the network. We got a half fan and a real fan, a delusional one and a less than delusional one. I'm the delusional one. Hi.
I was just gonna say, me saying that I'm not putting money on my team
Johnny, how do you feel about Julio? Because remember, like the whole Kyle Pitts thing and how you told me so and everything, and then the Julio thing happened. I told you
Is this like a redemption thing, Mike? Just to get back at me for something that I said earlier in the year. So just kind of like your kind of bounce back statement.
That was my bounce back. I feel better now. I've been holding on to that for a while.
How is Pitts looking in camp? Has anybody heard any reports on Pitts?
Well, I
nobody.
personally haven't.
In camp.
I'm usually not someone who likes to pay attention to all that because it's just hard to kind of get into like things that really aren't like really meaningful until you like. I didn't care about that Hall of Fame game last week because I feel like it doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, to be fair, we cared a little bit too much.
Yeah. Joe, according to Joe, Dallas still sucks.
It's just not really my thing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Go. There's the one. Let's go to the game, Renee.
That one game, that Hall of Fame game you didn't care about, meant a lot.
No, I didn't watch it at all.
And the Cowboys still suck.
Benvenuti.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Dalton, Eagles. Anything coming out of camp other than they may possibly never actually trade for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, so one of the positive things is, I don't know if any of you guys saw it. You probably didn't. I wish I could show you the clip. I'll send it to you guys later. But it's Jalen Reagor. You guys heard about Devontae Smith's injury, I'm sure. Jalen Reagor actually had a really, really nice catch in practice. He kind of like did a one-hand Odell Beckham type over actually Darius Slay, of all people. And, you know, Jalen Reagor had a terrible year last year. And I'm not saying, like, I think Johnny Talks just kind of hit the nail on the head. It's all kind of meaningless in camp. You know, you don't really know anything until the year really starts. But, I mean, if you can get a positive out of training camp, I mean, just watching that video, pure raw footage, you're like, oh, my God, like, maybe this, like, yes, it was a stupid pick not picking up Jefferson, and I'm the number one person to say that as an LSU fan. But at the end of the day, you're like, maybe this Reagor kid won't actually be as bad as we thought that he was. I'll send you guys the clip right now so you can check it out. But it's a pretty cool catch.
I'm hoping for big things from him. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see somebody who gets picked that high and not just completely fall on their face when they get to the NFL.
True.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify. Like when we say meaningless, we mean like the info coming out of camp, just because it's all the team's reps letting info out. So it's just like, yeah, this guy's been doing good. Yeah, that's your guy. Of course, you're gonna say he's good. What's actually happening inside of the camps is very meaningful to the team's success throughout the season.
I agree with that, but since you said it and I didn't, keep it to yourself. It was very poignant because that's the same thing with the hype videos that we watch for the draft.
Florida's good at that.
What is Florida?
He said Florida was raging with COVID right now. They party, pandemic or no pandemic.
I don't want to go down that road.
Go to Florida. I don't want to go to Florida.
I should have wrote down a list of topics. I did not have one.
I got a topic.
There's a whole graphic back there.
There is. Yeah. I wanted to. Yeah.
Did you see the guy that jumped on and ran across the field at Dodger Stadium yesterday?
He made it back?
He almost made it back. He juked like 3 security guards, but on his way back, he got hit. That little ball girl took him out.
Oh yeah. No.
She took him out and like pushed him where he hit the wall and then did a flip over. He flipped over and then they all tackled him. I don't know. If you guys haven't seen the clip, you need to go check it out.
Is there any way we can show it? Can we bring it up and play it in the show? Because I'm picturing why is she trying to be a hero? Because
she heroed the heck out of that.
Oh, she was a hero.
I know, but if he's running at you and he's close to getting to the wall anyways, like unless he was charging at her in some sort of threatening way, like I would just get out of the way.
She looked like she got in that stance too, like like you ain't passing me. Like here you come, like. Oh, I wish I had it. I've been watching it all day too.
She makes like $14 an hour. Like this is just not worth it. Who knows if the guy's a weapon or just throws a forearm to the face? Like, are you putting that up on your? I guess now she can probably have some fame.
She should get some clout. Yeah, for sure.
Like there was Dana White did that maybe like a year ago. There was like a young lady who stopped somebody from stealing something, and she was basically like she had brothers that played football, and she was like pass blocking this guy from going out the door. And Dana White saw it and like made her part of the security team for the
I think I got it for you, Tony.
UFC.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Give me a second.
I actually haven't seen this yet. I'm surprised.
Man, what do you guys do with your life? Like
usually Sundays, I just look like all I do is watch baseball, but
yeah,
not yesterday. I got carried away with Ted Lasso. I don't know if you guys have seen that show with Sudeikis. He's like the American football coach, and he goes to England, and he's like, and then he coaches soccer with no knowledge at all. You got to check it out. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm a huge Jason Sudeikis fan.
Yeah,
I have not watched it. You're the, I think, second at least person to come on and recommend the show. Yeah. Fernando came on, was talking about Ted Lasso a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's actually an SNL script from like 7-8 years ago. Like they did like an advertisement for like the Premier Soccer League, and then like they just 8 years later they made a show, and it literally got like nominated for like 20 awards. It's just like crushing it, but it's only on Apple TV, which kind of stinks. So you got to either know somebody or have it to watch.
Yeah, I don't have Apple.
You guys ready for this?
Yes, I am.
I'm so ready. I'm sorry.
A fan decided to run out on the field during the Dodger game.
And he's loose up the sideline. The 5. Touchdown. Replay.
That is electric.
A fan decided to run out on the field during the Dodger game.
Wow.
That right there, that's the fundamentals. They tell you, you watch the belly button, right? Like just
low.
right there, just get in there and just stick them right through the midsection.
I like that one.
Yeah, he looked like he was running out of gas a little bit, but I don't know what she was getting out of this, because that was like a ball girl. Like I was picturing like at least a middle-aged woman who didn't want to be a Walmart greeter anymore, but that was like literally like somebody that's SOS's age, you know, like we're talking about like 15 and she went nuts.
Zoe 101.
Goodness.
I don't play no games.
That's a good catch on that, Joe. I'm glad I saw that, because now I know not to run towards that little girl when I storm Dodgers Field someday, which I'll never do.
Same old sports. Welcome to the show.
Oh, he's gone now, but I think he just got in trouble. Like,
Someone yelled at
yeah.
him?
Speaking about Dodgers, Tony, I guess I was dead wrong on Albert Pujols, huh?
You were dead wrong.
But it still don't matter because he still sucks.
Double down on it.
Yeah. Only Joe can do it.
Theoberto's doing good over there. Theoberto is they're playing him in the right situations, and it was my fault for doubting the Dodgers and their analytics. And since he's been over there, what a different player. So let's see.
I'm telling you, he's allergic to the American League. Yeah. He's back, and he's slowly shaking off that crappy AL rust. He's going to be hitting like 300 by the time the playoffs come.
It shows how bad the Angels are.
When he left the Angels this year, he was batting 198, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs. Since he's been with the Dodgers, he's batting 265, 9 home runs, 32 RBIs.
Ridiculous.
And at the age, like that is tremendous production.
And he hit a home run against the Angels, who are now paying him, what, $30 million?
Yeah.
Yes. I think $30 million to not have him on their team. To hit home runs against them.
Yeah.
Go out and hit a home run against us. Here you go. Thank you very much.
That's actually hilarious.
That team is such a disgrace. They got to get Ohtani needs to run away. He needs to get out of there. They don't deserve him.
If they ruin Mike Trout and Ohtani, and the end of Pujols, I don't know. And they got Joe Madden, so they have a good manager. And before that, they had Mike Scioscia. Like they always seem to have good players. They just never put it together.
They had a stretch of good years. What's funny is during the draft this year, I don't know if you guys know this, they drafted. So there's like 40 rounds in the MLB draft. They drafted 20 straight pitchers to start the draft. 20. Like their first 20 picks were all pitchers.
If you're a pitcher in that organization, those people like, I must suck.
Right? I might as well just hang it up and work at McDonald's at that point. Like 20?
This organization has so much faith in me right now that they went out and drafted 20 people in my position.
Oh man.
Most of those guys never, like when you get down towards the end, I don't even think they throw a pitch in the minor leagues.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's just such like an underrated thing that people don't realize because it's not just single A, double A, triple A. There's like high A, there's rookie ball, there's almost 5 or 6 different levels to even sniff anything. And like half of those guys aren't gonna. It's just crazy.
I don't know. It's just no. Hey, Trey Turner on the other hand for the Dodgers, amazing. And this is why we talked about it when that trade went through. We said Max Scherzer's good, but Trey Turner is the best piece of that whole trade. And yesterday I was telling Joe that he was okay. For the first day, he took a double to the gap and went from first to home, scored right away. Yesterday, he was on first. Ball bounced off the second baseman, went about halfway between the second baseman and the outfielder. He went all the way home. All the way home.
That's what I'm talking about.
Speed. The Dodgers have lacked speed at the top of their lineup. Even when they won the World Series last year, they didn't have a true leadoff guy. And now they got one. Woo! Trey Turner!
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
But the Giants keep winning, so it don't matter.
Yeah, the Giants. The Giants keep winning, man. I don't know. That is just a big surprise to me.
Yeah, I don't like. You look at the Giants and you're like, how the hell are they winning?
Yeah,
how the hell are the Giants winning? And
it's got to come back to Gabe Kapler. To be honest with you, like that's what baseball is. It's like managers are super important in baseball. If you have a bad manager, then you're not going to be good. Like your manager has to be good. Like the Red Sox are a prime example. Like they didn't have Cora last year. They were the 4th worst team in the MLB. Now they're, I guess, even though they've been awful, they blew a 7-2 lead yesterday, but they're still right in the playoffs. They're their first wild card team, and they were the best team in the AL for quite some time. So it's like managers are huge. So maybe it is Gabe Kapler. Maybe he has something up his sleeve. Because like you look at that roster, like you said, it's not very good. Chris Bryant's a whole lot better, but still, like even those pitchers like overperforming, like Alex Wood, Anthony DeSclafani, all those guys are just like overperforming massively.
It could be. I keep waiting for the Giants to fall. It's not. Maybe it's what's his name? Zahan, the guy who went over, the GM now he went from the Dodgers to the Giants. He's over there now. I don't know. Trust the system, I guess. Trust the system. Joe, you're a Red Sox fan?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So you're not worried at all about this little drop? You know, like you said, they still have their wild card. Yankees are coming up though. Yankees have been on fire.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not like comfortable. And the Rays have been playing good all year. And I doubted the Rays. I whiffed on the Rays. I thought they were going to regress a lot because they lost a lot of good guys, and they've arguably been just as good or better. But Chris Sale's back Saturday, which is huge. Their bullpen, man, is just the issue. Like I said, they blew a 7-2 lead yesterday. Just little. I think they've lost like 8 out of the last 10 games. They've been bad. But again, I'm not totally worried. I think it does go back to they should have done a whole lot more in the deadline. They were way too like comfortable, and like their president of baseball operations is usually he came from the Rays, so he's not really trading many prospects. But still, it's like you didn't think you were going to be this good. They were the second best team in the AL and the league actually prior to the deadline, and then since the deadline, they've been one of the worst teams in the league. So it's like. And everyone's getting better. So I'm a little nervous, but I still think they'll get in the playoffs for sure.
Still squeak by.
I think so. I think they'll still get a wild card. They're 4 behind the Rays, and I think the Yankees are now 1.5 behind the Red Sox, which makes me nervous, but they do have Sale coming back, and
I think that's the only team you really have to worry about is the Yankees. Oakland should be able to take that other wild card, and so it's the Yankees. If the Yankees can come all the way back, it'd be I don't know. I would love to see some. I'm sorry that you're a Red Sox fan, but I would love to see some of these Red Sox fans eat some of the early words that they were spitting out at the beginning of the season.
Oh, I know who they were. See, I wasn't on the high horse. Like, I thought they were going to be competitive, and when they were good, I was like, wow, I knew they were overperforming. I still think they're a good team. I still think a lot of people doubted them, and I still thought they were a playoff team. But like, even when they were like, I don't know, they were first in the AL for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, are they actually this good? Like, are they this good? Right now, no. Their pitching is clearly not that good enough, and they got some holes in their lineup. They should have got a first baseman. I don't know why they didn't. So, I mean, they're still a playoff team, no doubt. And I still think fair game in the playoffs, especially if you have Chris Sale healthy. I think that's huge, but their bullpen is weak. And I know a lot of people were like World Series. Like they look like a World Series team. But for me, it's just like I got to wait. There's 162 games, and now they're in a cold streak. It doesn't mean they can't get back to that form. That's the beauty of baseball. But I'm still playoffs and see what happens. Kind of.
I'm not knocking them. They have some young talent, but we all knew that pitching is what's going to hurt them. But everybody was coming out. And it's funny because the Red Sox in the before the season, all the Red Sox fans were like, "We're gonna suck so bad. We're gonna hate life." And then the Red Sox come out on fire, and then the best team, and they're like, "World Series, we're going all the way. It's gonna be great. The Red Sox versus the Padres." And then it's like, no, calm down. It's a long season. This isn't the last year 60-game season. Red Sox would have been fine. Hey, we might have been looking at. But I think that 60-game season hurt a lot of us, and we forgot how long the baseball season is. And when the summer months come, and what do they call the dog days of August, which we're getting into? Mm-hmm. This is when we find out how good baseball teams are, and that's why I've always been saying I predict the Giants to fall starting now.
Today's the day.
Well, it's coming. It's only a matter of time. It takes a lot. Like this is when your depth and your talent is starting to see in baseball. This is when you start to see those on great teams.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. That's such an underrated thing. Like August. If you can win and play well in August, and you're already in like the contention. That's like the Yankees. I mean, that's why the Yankees weren't out of it, and people thought they were kind of crazy. I know a lot of. Like I follow a lot of Red Sox beat writers and stuff like that. And then Jared Carabas, who's huge on Barstool. He's a huge Red Sox fan. So I follow him. And these guys, not him necessarily, but a lot of guys were making fun of the Yankees. And we're like, why are they making moves? They're not even going to make the playoffs. And here we are 2 weeks later. They're a game and a half behind the Red Sox because they made moves. And those guys are producing. I mean, Rizzo hit a home run his first time up at. I know he's on the COVID list now, but Gallows hit some home runs. Andrew Heaney struck out 10 guys the other day. These guys are clicking. They're getting healthy, and you're not out of it yet. Like August is a very important month. That's why I'm a little nervous, but I still think the Red Sox will be all right. But like we said, it's a long season.
Yeah. Hey, what about this guy right here? Oh, I can't. Whatever way. No, not you. This whatever. This way. This way?
I could pitch if you need me to.
Peyton Manning.
Did you like his speech last night? Did he have a good Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah, he did.
Great.
That's it. That's all you guys gonna give?
Yeah, I mean it was great. I don't know about all this.
Yeah, he's
he's
all
gonna
right.
be the NFL commissioner hype. I mean, he talked like a commissioner would talking about the future of football and really going into depth with that. There were a few jokes in there to lighten it up also. So it was overall a really good speech. I don't know if he has any interest in being the commissioner of football. I don't know where all this came from. Did he say anything about being the commissioner of football? Like I've seen at least 10 posts today about that.
Yeah,
I'd be the commissioner.
He should be like a GM, no doubt.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
he'd be an awesome GM. I mean, I thought his speech was awesome. It was like, it was funny. It was inspiring. It was kind of sad, like emotional rather, when he was talking about his family. I'm always big on when guys like thank their family and stuff. And but yeah, no, his speech he speaks super well. Like it's scary how well he speaks. But yeah, I don't think he's into being a commissioner. I would say front office all day. Like he could easily be a front office guy because he speaks well, and we all know he's a guru. He knows everything about the game, inside, offense, defense, inside and out. So like he would be somebody who I think could succeed. But commissioner, I don't. That's more of a moneymaker's job.
That's something that takes more than just knowing football.
Right.
You got to be a businessman at that point, a business mogul at that, honestly. But he should go help out the Broncos. I know what his first move would be if he was helping out the Broncos with their player operations. Get number 3 off the field. Give me his pads. Give me his jersey. Send that man home. Get Teddy Bridgewater out there. That's what he's going to do first.
I was going to say, if Peyton was going to run a team and he was going to be a GM, you would want him on the Broncos? Is that where you would?
That's not where I would want him, no.
Where would you want him?
Wouldn't want him there, but he would fit well there.
Hopefully he'd go to a terrible team and fix them.
Yeah. You would take him in New York?
Yeah, not as the GM per se, but as someone who, even though he is the guy who supposedly raved about Adam Gase, and then like they claimed that Christopher Johnson talked to Peyton Manning on the phone and was like, "Oh, we're sold. We're hiring Adam Gase." So that is maybe I have a little sour taste in my mouth. You know, I love Peyton Manning, but like any bad team, yeah, like you said, I mean, I'm content with Joe Douglas, but maybe he's not even a GM. Maybe he's just an extra guy in there to help make decisions, because who wouldn't want Peyton Manning in your building? But I think Denver would be awesome because they just lost Elway. Now it's like, now you bring the next guy. Now you got Peyton, who's obviously a lot younger, and Elway kind of had a pretty bad falling out, I'd say, after Manning left with Denver.
I'd be down to have him come help us out too.
Yeah, I mean, any team. I feel like any team should.
No offense to Tom Telesco. He's great in drafts, but he's missed on 3 straight head coaching hires now. So, no, let's hope not, man. If Brandon Staley fails, I'm gonna be heartbroken because I really like him.
I'm not huge on Staley. I've told you that before.
I hope he doesn't fail. It's also young. It's such a toss up, yeah, because he is so young. He could be the next Sean McVay, or he could just be a complete failure. And we don't know. And I don't think there's going to be an in between. I think we're going to know after year 1, like, if this is going to be successful or not. If the defense like is really improved and the offense maintains the level they did last year, like, I'm going to feel real confident for the next couple of years with him.
Yeah, for sure. As long as the defense improves. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Joe. What were you saying?
Well, I'm saying a lot of players are talking good about Staley, everything I've read. So, I don't know. I just give the Chargers a hard time, but I hope it's a failure.
He's surprisingly good at talking, too. Like, when he has to talk to media, I was like, at first I was a little thrown off by his demeanor. He was really nerdy, really geeky, just really, like, off a little bit. But as he's gotten more comfortable, he sounds like a Sean McVay. It's kind of weird how similar they are when they talk.
He's what, 36?
Something like, I think he's younger than that.
Yeah, he came in the league early. That's the thing. That was why I was nervous, because he bounced team to team. He was with Denver, he was with Chicago, and then he was with the Rams. And he's only been a defensive coordinator for 1 year. But obviously they had such a good year. But then you can kind of be someone like me and say, well, that Rams defense was absolutely loaded. Like,
he's 38. It's 38. And he has a similar build in the Chargers defense that the Rams have. He has an elite pass rusher, D lineman to control that part, and he has an elite DB to lock people up.
Just got to stay healthy.
That's exactly. Derwin's got to stay healthy. He looks amazing. Like, I know I was just like downgrading the camp stuff. He looks exactly the way he was when he left. So it's super good to see so far with Derwin. He's covering receivers up sideline, running with some of our faster guys, and also bodying up some of the bigger guys. So it's good to see. With Staley, what was that? I had a thought. I was also worried at first, and Joe saw my reaction, just because it was like, where has this guy been? And I started to do more digging. And it's like, it kind of makes a little bit more sense he'd have a faster track. He played up into D1 college as a quarterback. Okay. And he was so good at reading defenses and picking apart defenses that he became a defensive guy as a coach after his football career. So he's more well-rounded than I think people realize.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, that makes me feel a little better. I just really thought Brian Daboll was like the perfect fit. I was so high on him. I was like, he's gonna do awesome in LA. I mean, yeah, you could say him and the GM, they went to high school, whatever. But I'm surprised. I mean, maybe Daboll just wants to chill for another year. Why not? I mean, the Bills are going to be Super Bowl contenders, but that was more so my thing. But I guess it makes sense. You go after a defensive guy. But you could argue like offensive guy, young quarterback. But now that I knew he was a quarterback, D1, like I guess that makes a little more sense. That's probably why the Chargers hired him, because they probably did every bit of research on this dude before. They were like, here you go. This is our franchise quarterback. Don't ruin him.
Yeah, it's apparent the Eagles this is a rumor though. The Eagles offered him a job also, and he turned him down for the Chargers. So I like it, and I have hopes at an all-time high for our head coach. Mike McCoy and Anthony Lynn were severe failures.
Solid.
And it was a shot in the dark on both of those guys. So I'm trying not to get too excited, but
McCoy had good rosters too. Like he had a good roster. Like that's the thing. I mean, Anthony Lynn, last year you could say what you want, but his time management was awful. His clock management was so bad. I mean, he didn't even look like he was supposed to be a head coach. I think he's one of those guys, like he's a good assistant, right? There's so many guys like that. And I kind of still feel about Todd Bowles too. Like he's the best defensive coordinator in the league, but it's so much different of going into it. That's really what it is. But it is like now, like everyone says, like I don't care about offense, defensive mind. And I think everyone always thinks if you have a young guy, you got to go offense. Not necessarily. Like now you're seeing all like the recent good hires, like Mike Vrabel, defensive mind, Flores, defensive mind. I mean, all these guys are defensive minds. Yeah, Stefanski's offensive mind, but still, like mostly these guys. I'd even throw Joe Judge in there, even though he's got all that craziness, but like he's kind of changed that culture. Defensive mind. McDermott, defensive mind. I mean, all these guys are just defensive coaches.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier the way Joe Judge reacted to the fight. He reacted the same way Belichick would have reacted.
Yes.
So, like, what did you expect? The guys under him aren't used to Belichick, obviously. So,
Right.
I mean, I feel like he just reacted how Belichick reacted. There's a podcast with Joe Judge, Sean McVay, and Peter. He's
Schrager?
Schrager. He's a host of football.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
And it's amazing. It's an amazing podcast. Go check it out if you want to.
I was going to tell you, Joe Judge got mad, right? That they had a big old fight during their practice. He made his whole team runs, laps and all that. But then the Lions had a little scrimmage, and Dan Campbell said it made him aroused a little bit. He loved that.
It was only because Jones was under the pile. That's why he was so pissed off, which I would be too. Your starting quarterback in a red uniform is in the bottom of the pile of a brawl.
And no one cares. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I read the report. Like Jones, it was like Judge livid that Jones is under pile after brawl, which he should be. Like imagine your quarterback, like imagine Carr or Herbert or like Wilson in the bottom of the pile. Like,
yeah, I know.
I'd be going out of my mind.
What a weak ass quarterback to be on the bottom of the pile.
He slipped.
He supposedly he came into the fight.
Like what are you doing down there?
Like him on the ground.
There's a reason other quarterbacks aren't on the bottom of the pile because they're not dumb. I'm sorry, but like
Mahomes just turns around and walks away from it. You don't care. You just
that's how I saw that the Jets had a not brawl, but it was like a fight, and it was like a little scuffle between Jared Davis and an offensive player, and they were like Zach Wilson was like 30 yards like away from the fight, not in the bottom of the pile. Like that's kind of what you got to do.
But wasn't Daniel Jones like, what's up? I'm in the pile.
He was walking up. He's like, guys, what are we fighting about? And he fell. He fell forward into the pile.
I get it. Like he thinks he's like, he's the quarterback, the leader, but like sometimes it's just let those guys handle it. I think it was
I
think it was Evan Ingram. I think Logan Ryan was in the middle of it too. I know Evan Ingram was one of the main guys that just like lost.
You got Mike Glennon just sitting back laughing like
he's going like this. Just watching.
Future star with his long neck. With his freaking draft neck.
I mean, he had to do something because there's something going on in Giants camp where these guys think they could just like you don't hit your teammates like that. Like there's a guy that took out Kenny Galladay with a headshot. Like, what are you doing? And then they released him. Like,
I mean, it's too far. It's too far when it's happening on a daily basis. It happens on football teams. I mean, I've been a part of at least 5 of those, and I didn't even go to a point where it's like a bunch of alphas together.
I like Joe Judge, but what extent do you keep allowing that? And then, like, is he going to make them all run laps every time? Every time something bad happens, it just shows that they still don't have respect for him.
They might have brought in the wrong guys.
The wrong players?
Yeah, maybe a Dory, Kenny, these other new players that are coming in here might be stirring the pot a little.
They could be when you bring in the veterans that didn't work out somewhere else. They could be.
I'm surprised the entire it's probably like a 20-man line before cuts right now didn't like end that fight before Daniel Jones ended up at the bottom of it.
Yeah. I mean, I like the scrappiness, but it could end up being a good. I'm high on the Giants, like way higher than most people are this year because of Joe Judge and like because they've done so much to make Jones succeed, even though that's a different discussion. I don't feel highly on Jones, but maybe it will be a good thing, but it might not be, which could be a disaster if those new players don't mesh well with what Judge is doing. Because Judge is like Belichick, like we said, like you're either going to love him or you're going to hate him. Like that's really what's going to end up happening. If someone gets triggered by Judge, it's just going to be over. I mean, people retired. I didn't even know that. That is ridiculous, man.
How much starter, wasn't it?
Yeah, who were the players?
How much can you act like Belichick and want to be like Belichick until players are like, hey, you don't have the damn rings like Belichick to be treating me like this.
True.
I mean, I could put up this for a while. When winning cures a lot of stuff. Once you're winning, nobody cares. And players will put up with a lot of crap. But when you start losing, they're going to look at Joe Judge and be like, I ain't running a damn lap for you. For us to go, 4 and whatever it is this year, 4 and 13 this year. I ain't doing that.
So Zach Fulton, Joe Looney, and Todd Davis retired.
Was Looney going to start?
He spent the recent 5 years there, nine-year career. Yeah, I think Looney was a starter.
That sucks.
Looney was only there for like 3 days, right?
He just undone.
He was with the Giants for. Wait, was he recently signed by the Giants? Yeah, you're right. He was. He's been in the league since 2012. So.
Yeah, Looney was an old he was a Cowboy, and then I think he went. Where did he go? Kansas City or something?
He was San Francisco, Tennessee, Dallas, and then he started 13 games last year for Dallas, so he probably would have started again. So that's your starting offensive lineman.
But like you said, you quit after you run the laps. What kind of crap?
Right. The laps. That's what I'd like. That's what I was saying with AJ Hawk and McAfee. They're like, well, this was obviously before they retired, and they were like, well, maybe it is a good thing because everyone did it, and nobody said, hey, I'm not doing this because like once one person did it, probably he would have lost the whole team. Like honestly, but after that, then you're just like, I retired.
But if you're quitting the team, do you really care what the other players do? If you're quitting anyways, are you going to be like, I'm just going to do it for the team? You don't give a damn about that team because right after you get off that field, you're done. Bye. You don't care if there's a mutiny after you leave because you're not dealing with it. You're at home.
Yeah, and after the incident, you think cooler heads got to prevail, and Joe Judge has got to talk to these guys and say, hey, don't retire. I mean, that's a little bit far, don't you think?
Yeah.
We had our star player. He was a left tackle. He's the only guy that went D1 from my high school, from my graduating class, and he was a monster. And he's 6'6", just everything you need in a giant offensive lineman. Anyways, at practice, he got in a scuffle with like a sophomore, and the sophomore took a sucker punch at him. But this guy was a D end, and the senior. He just knocked him out cold, right, standing there. We weren't in pads or anything. We were just like shirts. He just knocked him out right there, and coach kicked him off the team, our star player. They talked about it in the locker room, and he was right back out there the next day.
Yeah, you're not.
He's not kicking him out.
Get out of here.
Back
Don't
out
come
there.
back until tomorrow.
6'6" is a high school kid. You getting cut just because he knocked out a sophomore.
Yeah, right before he's going to whisper, he's like, hey, I'm gonna kick you off the team, but we'll be good, and then I'll kick him out. Yeah,
you take
right?
all that stuff with you, and then tomorrow you come right back. For 24 hours, you're gone.
Cooler heads had to prevail in this situation. You need your starting lineman.
Well, and that's the thing here too. Like, I'm guessing if it was been a bigger player, a bigger name, he would have tried to talk him out of retirement.
That's true. I mean, but Looney, I mean, I don't know if he was projected to start. I just knew he's been a starter. He's kind of had a weird career though. He wasn't like every year starter. He was kind of that like bridge starter. If the line wasn't good or someone's hurt, he's going to start. Maybe he was a starter, but still, like they signed him for a reason, and then he's already gone.
Yes, sir. So Giants. I mean, I'm with you, Joe. I'm a little high on the New York Giants this year too. I hope they don't disappoint, but we'll see. We got any other topics we want to talk about? We've been jumping around everywhere, but I mean, Mike does owe an apology to Team USA basketball for all the crap that he threw them under the bus and said they sucked and all that.
That sounds like someone else that hosts a show with me. Not Mike, 3-letter word, but close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw videos of one of the hosts bashing USA.
I saw videos of one of the hosts, me, saying, "Don't panic. They're probably still going to win the gold medal."
I don't remember which one of us said Team USA sucked, and the rest of the world caught up to him. But Team USA basketball and Tony's guy Chris Middleton, what did Tony say? Without Chris Middleton's 4 points, the USA would have lost.
Probably.
But I don't know. They came back and surprised me when I heard they were in the championship game. I was like, damn it!
You knew
that.
They got
all this crap.
They got lucky that Luka didn't make it. A Batum block cost Luka a gold medal match.
Yeah, so Team USA won. Good for them. I don't know, but I still stand by my words and say basketball has been caught up. The rest of the other countries have caught up to the United States, and eventually it will be knocked off.
Closer, not caught up. Team USA for the women's basketball also won gold medals. Congratulations to them.
What?
The women's basketball team also won the gold medal.
Huh?
Don't do this, Joe.
I was going to see how many times I get you to say it.
Oh, the women's team. They won the gold medal also.
Oh yeah! Congratulations to the women's team. Team USA women won the gold medal. I don't know if you knew that, Joe. I'm just letting you know.
What happened? Joking. Yes.
Joe Skirtle, you still going to Carolina Panthers game 1?
I am. I will be there. So excited for that. Counting down the days.
Have you talked Brian into going?
Brian can't go, unfortunately, because he has he's the big offensive coordinator now for his team, so he won't be able to go.
That's 2 days after their game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they have film sessions. I'm not sure. I know, like, once if he had gotten that promotion, that the chances are he probably wouldn't have been able to go. But that would have been hilarious.
What if they're not good? What if the team is like not winning games? Can he go?
Well, we won't know by then. The season just started.
It'd be too early.
They probably played like 2 games.
We're 4 weeks away from regular season.
Are you telling him just to sell? Are you just telling him to look at his team and be like, I think we stink anyway, so I'm gonna go to that game?
I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm just not gonna show up.
I'm just saying. Sometimes as a high school coach, you just know that your players aren't gonna go nowhere, so you just gotta cut them loose. Let them know, like, hey, we suck. I'm going to the Panthers Jets game.
Yeah.
Do you know like exactly where Brian coaches? Don't say it on the air, but do you know exactly where he coaches?
No, I actually don't. I still don't. I barely even know any of the locations down here.
I'm just gonna show up to his practice and just see Coach Brian and see what he looks like. So I can't imagine him throwing out them crazy eyes on his quarterback or something.
He told me, but I don't know exactly where it is. Yeah, maybe I'll have to go.
He gives out the Poopy Pants of the Week award to the kids.
Or him. Poopy Pants of the Week award goes to Brian Bolster.
You know how they have like those after the game, the whole team like gathers around the coach, win or lose. It's either really sad or really happy.
Yeah.
That's when he does it after the game.
Well, he says the parents get crazy, so I should just show up to a game and be like, Bolster sucks.
Yeah.
Be like, who is this guy?
See, when I was in high school, we weren't allowed to rewatch our game film with the sound on, like because of all the parents would be yelling and screaming, and you could just hear them going off on our coach, like, "You suck, you don't know how to coach." Like, so they were just like, I mean, I don't know how many people actually watch it with sound on, but we used to like try to turn it up just on purpose, just like, "Hey, that's my mom. I can hear my mom."
Parents always think they know better, but I guess when my kid's older, I'm gonna be that parent. Are you kidding me? What year is it? It's 2040 and you're still running the ball? These guys got flags on. They don't even have pads anymore.
I mean, you guys know I coach flag football. Last night, I had to go to a combine of flag football players to watch. These are 7, 8-year-olds and higher. To watch them run the 40, to do shuttles, to pull flags, to throw a ball. And I'm like, I didn't feel right. And then they put them in a draft, and you got to draft them. I'm like,
what?
How is this good for like this?
What if your kid gets drafted to another team?
Yeah, right. Do you automatically get him?
Your kid, if you're the coach, you can put your kid on your team, but I didn't put my kid on my team. I'm just kidding.
I was like, he might be serious. Like, I get it. Maybe he doesn't want to coach his kid, and then I couldn't tell.
No, I would always have Jake on my team, but like I'm just like not feeling comfortable, like going out there and be like, these are 7 and 8-year-old, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that kid sucks. I don't want him on. Like, how bad is that? Like,
that's young. I mean, I'm coaching a baseball team, but it's like AAU, and they're 13, so it's a little different. Like, I had to like, me and one of my other friends were coaching, and like we had to like pick the team specifically. But that like 7 and 8 is young, and like a combine, that seems like, what is this? Like the NFL didn't even have a combine.
They're still learning.
7 and 8-year-olds, right? That's like football 101. It should be, or flag football 101. A draft.
Like, people are like, oh, he didn't break down correctly. Yeah, no. Duh. Like, come on. He's 7 and 8 years old, guys. Like, give him a break.
He's waiting to go home and watch Nickelodeon. He doesn't want to bend down.
Make roster moves, trades, subtractions, additions to their free agency pool?
Yeah, right.
Well, I guess what they do is they put everybody in there, and then they have the numbers and stuff, and then we're gonna have a draft. I guess we're having a draft.
So you're gonna be a GM in this.
Well, yeah, because I have to pick. I have 2 kids on my team right now, and I have to fill my team with 8 kids. So I have to draft 6 more kids.
I want to break down their tape for Mike's filmer.
Does some kids not make the team at all?
Everybody, this is what I don't get. Everybody makes the team. So no matter what, you're gonna get put on a team, no matter what your numbers. I just don't know. Like back in the day, why they just take everybody when you signed up and they just threw you on a team and like, okay,
randomized it. Yeah.
If they wanted to do this, and I understand if they want to do this and then go, okay, this guy's good, or like try to spread out the talent or what you think is talent, I could see that. But
it's because the commissioner is like a fantasy football player.
He's an ex-NFL player, the guy who runs the league. So,
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes a little more sense, but still,
I don't know if the NFL's Play 60 would smile at this way of choosing
combine for 7-year-olds.
Yeah, I was just like, I wasn't comfortable. But I mean, I did write some names down. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, you had to at that point.
I have to, but I mean, there's a couple of those kids where I'm like, that kid has pure heart. It doesn't look like he has his talent, but I can coach him up, and so I'll write his name down. You know what I mean? I wasn't going like. There's like 1 or 2 kids, and I'm like, dang, that guy's playing good. But I don't know. I just didn't feel right doing it. Just letting you know.
That's pretty crazy. I don't think anything like that would happen around where I live, and we live in the same state.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
There's just so many kids at those things with ours. There's like a 12-team league for each city, small city. We're all so close together.
Anyways, I guess we should start wrapping this up, right? We've been on the air for over an hour, and people are probably like, I mean, it's like, what is it, 300,000 people watching this right now? I apologize, guys, but we are going to cut this short. You guys did get to see the debut of Joe Skirto's Wilson jersey.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at that thing.
Looking good. Hopefully I don't have to return it in a few years, but we got it.
Joe, you want to know who the last rookie jersey that I've bought?
Herbert.
Who?
Justin.
Oh, yeah, Herbert.
So feel good.
I can see it right behind you.
Feel good. No, you can't.
I actually haven't bought a rookie's jersey
Sean
in a while.
Merriman.
So.
Before we go, I was at SoFi, and I was like, I'll make a TikTok because I saw that Sean Merriman was also at SoFi. And I had 50 of my loyal followers. Thank you guys if you did it, by the way. 50 of them tag Sean Merriman saying, hey, go sign this man's jersey. I brought my Sean Merriman jersey. It was in my car. Didn't hear from him. I know he saw it. He's not that big on TikTok. The post that I put up about him coming down and signing my jersey got more views and likes and comments than his initial post saying that he was at SoFi Stadium. And he still didn't say a word. So
Sean Merriman thinks he's bigger than he is.
My feelings are hurt.
He's doing that dance he used to do with that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I still love you, Sean. And if you want to sign my jersey, it's still in my closet.
Even though they're the Patriots, but I do remember when the Pats like upset them in the playoffs, all the guys were going like this, like after the game. that was funny.
It's not funny. Anyways, wrapping it up, right, Joe?
Wrapping it up. If you guys are, I know we got a bunch of Charger fans that follow us now. Thanks to Mike. But if you guys are at Charger Camp on Wednesday and you guys see me and Mike, give us a shout out. Say what's up. We're going to try to run into Fernando Ramirez and Gilbert Manzano and get a hold of them. And we're going to have a great time. We'll put some blogs up. So, Mike, I'll see you tomorrow. Joe, I appreciate everything you've done 2 days in a row, Joe, that we've been together.
I know.
Can't
I
wait.
like it.
I don't know. Mike's twitching over there.
It was a half wink. It was a half wink. Yeah, guys, if you guys see us, come and say what's up. I got recognized for the first time ever, and it was weird, but it was cool. So come and say hi.
I get recognized all the time. So, I mean, one time is
pretty recognizable face. It's fair.
People are like, hey, what's up, big guy? I was like, yeah, you know me? No, they don't know me.
Is that Randy Pepperton?
Randy,
it's you, Randy Pepperton. Some drunk guy over there. But yeah, I'm gonna have a hard. I'm a Raider fan going to Charger Camp. We're gonna have some fun.
Oh boy. If
I get kicked out, I get kicked. No, I'm just kidding.
If you get kicked out, I'm just gonna act like I don't know you. It's just that's the game plan for me.
Like, I don't know that dude. I don't know. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in. What a great show. Welcome to the Warzone Roundtable Edition again. We the show about anything and everything, right? That's basically what this is. Just gives us the opportunity to talk sports. Any last words?
Same old sports. That was the worst mock draft of all time. All right, go ahead.
Joe?
No, it was a good one. We'll see soon. I'll be back in like 2 days.
Sports Force in 2 days. Are we having it inside the crosshairs, Mike?
No, but we have a vlog dropping tomorrow. Vlog tomorrow. SoFi Stadium.
SoFi Stadium. We have Sports Force Wednesday. Thursday should be our AFC West division breakdown. Friday Night Wars. And then Saturday, I don't know. I'm trying to get Joe to talk some fantasy football with me. We'll see. Maybe we'll bring the return of the not so average Joe's back.
I would like that.
Do it.
Mike would like that. But we're out of here, guys. Have a great one.